Good morning, football fans, and welcome to State of the Beavers. Wipe your eyes because we have a good one today. This is your weekly look at Oregon State football, where momentum shifts, pressure builds, and every result leaves a mark on the season. I'm Brian, the brains behind the podcast. My hosts John and Stacy will be giving you the weekly breakdown, where upsets happen, expectations change, and no two Saturdays ever look the same. Now let's get into it.
Fade in, fan talk, logo on the screen, yeah, we back in the bar, yeah. Kick off on a Thursday, headphones hallway, walking to class. Talking about rankings and run game, who hitting harder, who missing gaps. Yeah. State of the Beavers, we break it down from the first down snap to the final crowd sound. From the dorm room couch to the nosebleed seats, we speaking on the trenches and the DB speed. State of the Beavers. Tap in, let's ride. West Coast weather with that Beaver pride. From the student section up to alumni. State of the Beavers. Run it back, rewind. The Beaver. Tap in, let's ride. West Coast weather with that Beaver pride. From the student section up to alumni. State of the Beavers. Run it back, rewind. Got stats in the notes app, hacks in the group chat, fire in the chat, call in, what's up, Cavallis? We talk grit, talk grind, talk balance. Game day fit, orange hoodie, black cap. Replay the clip when the pocket collapse. We pick wins, pick spreads, pick sleepers. Podcast banging for the real true believers. State of the Beavers, run it back, rewind.
Welcome to the debate. So today we're diving into the scouting report for this massive Week 4 rivalry game between Oregon State and the number 6 Oregon Ducks. And the real question we're trying to tackle is, pretty clear. Does Oregon State's very specialized defense and run game, which we saw just shut down Army, does that actually pose a real threat to Oregon's, frankly, superior national stats? I'm arguing that Oregon's balance and overall strength is just going to be too much.
See, and I come at it from a completely different angle. I think those matchup-specific strengths you mentioned, especially their ability to create pressure and just control the game clock, present a really substantial challenge to Oregon's system, no matter what the national rankings say.
And it's split almost perfectly, 276 passing, 224 rushing. Then on defense, they're third in the nation, allowing just 217 total yards. And, that 31-24 win over Northwestern, that showed they can be resilient. QB Dante Moore threw for 317 yards, 3 touchdowns, while they still ran for over 100. They can win however you want to play them.
Okay, but while that national rank is undeniable, those metrics just don't account for the kind of pressure Oregon State brings. That 30-0 shutout of Army, they absolutely bullied them at the line of scrimmage. They held Army to just 36 rushing yards and got 5 sacks. I mean, that kind of disruption, it's personified by their DNs and Taylor. The guy had 5 tackles for loss in one game. That suggests he can just blow up Oregon's rushing attack before it even starts. And then on offense, Anthony Hankerson running for 125 yards on 15 carries. That's the blueprint. Control the clock, be efficient.
I see why you're focused on that, but let's really challenge this idea that Oregon State's defense has seen anything close to Oregon's offense. Oregon isn't just about their 224 rushing yards. The fact that they can just pivot and throw for 317 yards against Northwestern, with Evan Stewart getting 132 of those, it means they can just fly right over Oregon State's run-focused front. And on the flip side, Oregon's third-ranked defense, they give up only 89 rushing yards a game. So that's going to completely neutralize Hankerson, which forces the ball into Malik Murphy's hands.
I'm sorry, I don't buy that statistical generalization. Oregon State's D-line pressure is the great equalizer here, especially against an offense that, has shown it can be vulnerable. Taylor's production shows a guy who creates penetration no matter the play call, and that forces bad down and distance situations. And yeah, Oregon's passing yards are impressive, but they still gave up 24 points to Northwestern. That's not exactly an offensive juggernaut. Oregon State's defense is built to be disruptive. It's their whole identity.
Right, but we have to talk about the biggest weakness on the Oregon State side of the ball, and that is the turnover liability. QB Malik Murphy threw 2 interceptions, 0 touchdowns against Army.
And they still won 30-0. I mean,
That almost proves my point. Their defense and their ground game were so potent they could just absorb those mistakes. They want to run the ball, 182 rush yards versus 170 passing. That game plan actually limits the chances for Murphy to make those errors.
I would frame that as a flashing red light, not some absorbable weakness. 2 interceptions and a 97.1 QB rating against a team like Army, that is a huge liability when you put them up against Oregon's third-ranked defense, which allows only 128 passing yards per game. That weakness is going to be completely exposed. Oregon forces turnovers, and I am just not convinced that Oregon State's run game, as good as it is, can make up for gifting Oregon 2 possessions inside their own 40.
Well, ultimately, my position is that Oregon State's ability to specialize, with that elite front seven and that clock-controlling ground game, it gives them the exact tools they need to challenge a team like Oregon, regardless of how the national metrics stack up.
And my perspective is that Oregon's sustained comprehensive dominance, the ability to just pivot from a 300-yard passing attack to a powerful run game, is simply too balanced and adaptable to get derailed, especially by a team with such a clear and documented turnover risk at the quarterback spot. I suppose the key variable is whether Oregon State can really replicate that extreme pressure against a top 10 opponent who's already shown they can win it.
Anchor balance, but the number of bars and shots thrown back and forth between these two institutions could fill a distance triple that size. What a matchup we have for you in the battle for the state of Oregon. Welcome everyone to the home of the Oregon Ducks, the House of Loud, Autzen Stadium in Eugene. As we'll see, the winners of 3 straight, the Oregon State Beavers, taking on the 6th-ranked team in the land, the Oregon Ducks. Beavers will kick it away first. Here's the return from inside his 10. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. So Oregon's offense will go on the attack first. Early in the season, the Ducks looked vulnerable against teams from the state of Idaho, but nothing makes you feel better than taking little brother behind the woodshed in a get-right game when you had to feel a little bit better about life.
Yeah, and it was really a coming-out party, too, for Dylan Gabriel, the transfer coming in from Oklahoma. He threw the ball. He ran the ball. Oregon was up and down the field offensively. We've seen this game in years past get a bit crazy and wonky at times. Last year, David, no doubt who the better team was.
Yeah, especially when Oregon has to go to Corvallis. Typically, you'll see some struggle, but that wasn't.
Oh, he's getting ahead of steam. Inside the 30. He's showing it all. The juice, the jets, the moves, and he's got it down to the 16-yard line. Coming out on first down with the play fake. Quarterback feeling the pressure, and down he goes at the 22.
And the defense gets a sack, and that's going to be the big determining factor in this football game. A week ago, he only got sacked 1 time. They've already got him on the ground. If they want to win this football game, they got to keep getting after the quarterback.
And the Ducks with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Moore to the air. Oh, they're after him. Takes a shot as he lets it go. And good coverage and better hands by the defender to knock it down in the end zone.
Well, you knew you were going to see it in this game, throwing the go route to one of the fastest players in all of college football. This receiver strikes fear in the heart of every defense because he's got elite track speed. He's going to blow the combine up in the 40-yard dash because of his wheels. Not able to connect with the quarterback on that one, but you know he has the defense's attention.
They'll try to salvage a field goal on this drive. And he'll envision the ball flight as he lines it up from the right hash and 38 yards out. And this one is perfect. And the first points of the day come on that field goal.
And they don't get 7 on that opening drive, but they get 3. And this place is rocking. Night games are always so loud, so obnoxious, and these fans, they get something to cheer about with that first offensive possession.
After putting up the field goal, they're set to kick it away. He'll start the return inside his 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. The Beavers offense has its first opportunity of the day. Hopefully we'll see a performance today like the one that this guy had last week when basically he just ran wild through the defense.
He made that defense look silly. Out in the open field, he was making people miss, breaking tackles, scoring touchdown after touchdown. And this offense has vowed to find new ways to get him the football. So we're going to see something else that we haven't seen before because of this guy's unique talent in this one.
Yeah, and the defense, all eyes on him. That will be the main focus. More guys in the box. I wonder if it opens up the play-action game and the perimeter throws and maybe some big plays through the air because they know he is the man, he is the guy, he is priority number 1.
And he's got enough for the first down. They'll mark it at the 34.
You know, in the running game, there's a lot of ways that you can attack a defense. You can do it conventionally with running backs, and we're seeing more and more teams use the quarterback in the RPO game and zone reads, but I love when you sprinkle in a little jet sweep. Use the athleticism of your wide receivers to help you go get first downs.
Early in the game as a DB, I'm settling in. It's okay if I give up 4, 6, 7 yards. I'm just trying to get settled in, gauge the speed, and then later on, I can adjust to the speed of the game.
This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain.
And man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running.
Turning it on! Nice job to pick up the first down, and they'll spot it at the 42.
Third down, the focus of the defense has to shift. It has to change. We have to understand now exactly where the sticks are. We can't give up those plays for them to get beyond the sticks and get those first downs.
And he is stopped immediately by the big defensive lineman.
Well, just nothing doing on that last run, and they knew coming into this one they were going to be challenged, right? This is one of the best defenses in all of college football. For them to have any shot, they're going to have to do a lot better running the football.
Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. The power of Autzen Stadium on full display. The house of loud is deafening on this third down. He finds a soft spot in the middle, and they'll stop him about 5 yards short of the first.
All right, we got the completion. We got some yardage. We got some positive yards. Now we're in 4th and manageable. And you dang right, we're going for this puppy. We got our 4th down play ready to roll. We're calling it in.
They booted away on 4th down. Couldn't get away from that. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. So they've put up some early points, and now to build on this 3-0 lead. Moore will throw. Just a hair too much on it from this big-armed sophomore quarterback. It seems as if this old feud has been going on since Lewis and Clark set the foundation for the Oregon Trail. They've been playing since 1894, guys.
Game's been played for a long time, a lot on the line in the state of Oregon. Bragging rights, Jesse, for a whole year.
I feel like it's one of the rivalries in college football that maybe a lot of people don't talk about or really know about, but if you've ever been around this game and you know about the tradition and the history and the emotion surrounding this game, this is easily one of the best rivalries in college football.
So important to convert these third downs, and they get it done. They'll have it at the 42.
Well, we know this guy is special, and because of that, his quarterback is looking to him on critical down and distances. There on that third down, there was no question. It wouldn't have mattered if he was single covered, double covered, man, zone. That's where he was going with it, and the big-time playmaker outside picks up the first.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
This time he doesn't get loose, and finally the defense gets him bottled up behind the line. Even if they don't convert, picking up a few would give them a decision to make on 4th down. It's 3rd and long from the 45. From the gun, wants to pass. He's got it. Breaks
throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone. That was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
Lining up to add another. And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. So they start this drive from inside their own 20 at the 19-yard line. Looking to pass, it's Murphy. Fires to the middle. He's got an open man. Just a quick rhythm throw there and really good use of the tight end.
Yeah, good use of the big fella. I mean, go through your progressions real quick. You can't find anything. Get the easy gain. Don't take a shot down the field all the time. Take those shots later, but take those easy, wide-open opportunities to get some positive chunks.
That's the end of the period, and Oregon has the lead. And they jumped out to that edge early. As we wrap up the first, let's take a quick look at our game stats. They've got a first down here to open the period. They'll give it to him again. There he goes. Really good job by everybody there. Well blocked, good run, and a first down.
When you talk about creating big plays in the running game like this makes the game really easy. Actually, when you've got a guy like this that you can hand it to with this much speed and elusiveness, just hard to bring down in the open field. What a big game for the offense.
And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
So many offenses do this, right? They run the jet sweep. This defense was more than ready. They see it all the time. They got the penetration. That play had no chance to be successful.
He leaves it with his back. And he does a really nice job finding open space and making a good gain before the stop is made.
Sometimes as an offense, you like run plays, and you like running it right into the teeth of the blitz. That's what happened right there. Everybody up front got a hat on a hat, and they were able to crease that defense.
Got some room, headed to the goal line. And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Oregon State.
You know, this guy's had a big role in this offense this year, especially when they get down close to the end zone. That's his 5th rushing touchdown on the year. He's been a factor for these guys offensively.
He'll try to tack on one more. And it's up and good as they draw just 6 before he stopped at the 23.
And winning first downs is a priority for a defense, and you can't get bludgeoned. You can't get physically beat at the point of attack. You know the percentages. It's usually pretty good on first down that they're going to run the football. So them getting that big chunk, getting in second and short, not a good job by this defense.
The Ducks can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. He'll do it himself. Oh, he's got some space. He'll go out of bounds right at the 36-yard line, and the running game making its presence felt. They've got it at the 36. It's a 1st and 10. He'll keep it himself. Brings him down at the 48. It's a gain of 15 and a first down. Here they come again. The Ducks and their one-man band at quarterback just slicing up this defense.
Man, and those one names have been so good. Mariota, Herbert, Dixon. You go back, these guys, they always find great playmakers at the quarterback spot who can make big plays.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Moore to the air. Pocket breaking down. Caught near the sticks. It's Hughes. Man, this sophomore quarterback unleashed a cannon on that one. Oregon was dominant last season until the Ducks ran into that Ohio State juggernaut in the Rose Bowl, and that left Oregon still in search of its long-awaited first national title.
Well, Dan Lanning has built this thing into a national championship contender. He's done it in the trenches. But I'm curious to see what they do at quarterback and how that position plays out. Dylan Gabriel exhausted his 17th year of eligibility finally last year, David. So that's where my eyes are at.
He did, no doubt about it. He was around for a long time, but I think it's more the excitement with Lanning and continuing to bring in high recruiting classes, but breaking through and getting that first national title. They're on the precipice. Is this the year?
Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down. We'll see if the offense can move the chains after that incompletion. Third and long, and he'll try to throw for it. On the move, he fires. Got him downfield. They get him stopped, but the big gain has them on the doorstep. Let's mark it at the 13.
And listen, the defense knew coming into this one, they were going to target him early and often. He is a weapon, and there's no mystery where the quarterback's going to be looking on critical down and distances. Let's see how they're able to cover him throughout the rest of this game.
They finally get a hold of him, knocking him down behind the line of scrimmage. He had been running wild. Going to work in the red zone, they can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. Wants to go up top. Working that left side now. He goes out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. A third and long here. They can't pick up the first down without getting the touchdown. Moore will throw. Bring in the heat. And the quarterback is knocked down back at the 13.
And the defense has given up some plays, some passing yards on this drive. You want to stop that? Nice job rushing the quarterback, making him feel a little bit of pressure and getting him on the ground and now getting him behind the sticks.
And for the second time tonight, they'll trot out the field goal kicker. He gets a hand on it. He picks it up. That's a live ball. Right down the gut of the field. He's at the 40. At the 20. And he ran away from the defense to take it in. Touchdown, Beavers! Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. And the extra point is good, and it's a 4. Gonna run it. It's Hughes. And a pickup of 8 opens a world of opportunities on 2nd and 2. The Ducks want to pick up the tempo. Moore to the air. Throws to the tight end. Finds a man on the left. Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half.
A really nice job by the quarterback, putting some extra heat on that throw. As a defensive back, I'm going to drive to that curl, try to get there really quick to try to break up the pass, but the QB puts it that hard on the money with that much accuracy. Really hard route to defend.
Just sort of a relentless run, getting everything that was available to him, and they'll mark him down at the 40. Back to pass. Finds the tight end. Huge play there into plus territory, and they'll mark him out of bounds at the 46.
Well, I know the tight end did some good things after the catch, but got to give the quarterback credit, too, for the location of the throw. Because he put it out in front of his big man, he was able to make the catch and accelerate, creating some distance there between him and the defense.
They stop him just short of the first down, but it will be 2nd and inches coming up. Looking to go up top, and time's running out in the half. He's in open space downfield. He is guided out of bounds, and they'll mark it at the 28.
Rivalry when he gets to the sidelines. They've been putting him to work on this drive, right? You've seen him toting the rock with success. Now you're seeing him get involved in the passing game, too. They are highlighting his versatility here on this drive.
Makes the catch. It's Moore. The ball is down at the 14 after that grab. We've got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. And the Ducks didn't start this drive with great field position, but they have moved methodically down the field. Takes the handoff. It's Hughes. He'll get that one all the way down to the 4-yard line before he stopped.
I love teams that make it a priority to run the football, and they have today. Another good run by this running back. He's been doing it all night, over 100 yards on the day. Really, really good night for this young man.
Rushes on him, and the quarterback goes down at the 11-yard line. The offense will stop the clock and use one of its timeouts. Running out of time here in the first half, they're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. Moore will throw. Just had to get rid of that one. Good job to find another play.
That is exactly what I would tell this quarterback to do. Throw that ball away. Don't force it. Don't create a turnover down here in the red zone. We still got a few more downs to go. Nice job by the QB with the decision-making.
There's the pressure. And the defense wraps up the first half by taking it to the quarterback and getting the sack. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Guys, some real edge-of-your-seat moments, and there's still 2 quarters to go here between the Ducks and Beavers. And this linebacker has left his big old paw prints all over this first half. He's been clogging running lanes and forcing turnovers, and even when he's not doing something that shows up on the stat sheet, he's preventing that offense from doing so. A young man with all-American potential. With that, let's throw it back to the guys to see how the fight between Oregon and Oregon State plays out.
This podcast is presented by Pine Valley Auto Group. From rugged trucks to everyday commuters, find your drive at Pine Valley.
Welcome to The Debate. Today, we're diving into, well, a pretty fascinating situation. The halftime report from the Oregon State and Oregon rivalry game. The Beavers, under their new head coach Caleb Ward, are holding a surprising 14-10 lead over the number 6 Ducks.
Which nobody saw coming.
Exactly. So the real question is this: does the scoreboard prove that Ward is actually pulling off this recalibration he was hired for? Or is this lead just, a statistical illusion built on a bit of luck? I'm going to argue that this is proof his strategy is working.
And, well, I think the material tells a very different story. I see an underlying statistical dominance by Oregon that suggests this lead is incredibly fragile. I think it's masking some very real issues that show stagnation is still the reality for Oregon State.
See, I think this is all about situational mastery. Ward was brought in to do exactly this: win the big moments through discipline. And if you look at the data, it backs it up. 0 turnovers and 0 penalties. That's huge. They moved the ball when it counted, converting, 2 out of their 3 third downs?
Sure, on 3 attempts.
But the critical piece is the explosive power on the ground. They're getting almost 10 yards a rush, and Anthony Hankerson is just running wild. And that 75-yard fumble return for a touchdown, that's not random. That is a team capitalizing, showing that competitive edge Ward promised. They are squeezing every drop out of every single opportunity.
Okay, I hear you, and those plays are definitely exciting. But I think you're misinterpreting the shaky ground they're standing on. You can't just ignore the massive structural imbalance here. Oregon State has run, 14 total plays for just 5 first downs and 125 total yards. Meanwhile, the Ducks have 12 first downs, 265 yards, and they've held the ball for almost 13 minutes. The entire 14-point lead hinges on just 2 outlier events. When your offense only generates 38 yards through the air, that lead is an anomaly, not a sustainable system.
But the goal wasn't to outgain the number 6 team in the country. The mandate was to compete immediately and stop losing games because of stupid mistakes. When you're the less talented team, you have to be hyper-efficient. And Oregon State's 8.9 yards per play is actually better than Oregon's 8.0. That right there is what Ward delivers. They're winning the outcomes, which is the whole point.
Yeah, but that's my entire point. Efficiency on 14 plays is, statistically speaking, almost meaningless when the other team has run 33 plays. Oregon's offense is in complete control. They're racking up double the yardage through sheer volume, and the time of possession tells you everything you need to know. Oregon State's defense has been on the field forever. That lead is just not going to hold up.
I don't know about that.
And I have to push back on the idea that the defensive score is proof of some grand strategy. A 75-yard fumble return TD that happened after a blocked field goal. I mean, that is the literal definition of a chaotic, high-variance play. It's a fantastic individual effort, sure, but it's luck. It's not some sign of sustained success.
I disagree with how you're defining chaos, though. I mean, making those exceptional, high-leverage plays is the competitive edge Ward was hired to instill, especially after the last few years of late-game meltdowns. And look at the coaching battle at the end of the half. Oregon gets greedy, tries for a touchdown instead of the easy field goal, and what happens?
They get sacked.
They get sacked. Oregon State gets the stop, preserves the lead. That is winning the management battle in a critical moment. That's a sign of a sharp, well-coached team, not just a lucky bounce. So look, despite being outgained, Oregon State is winning the game of execution. They're disciplined, they're not making penalties, and they're capitalizing.
This podcast is presented by Pine Valley Auto Group. From rugged trucks to everyday commuters, find your drive at Pine Valley.
Running game was working in the first half. I imagine we'll see a lot more of it here in the third quarter.
And you just know the offensive line was telling their coordinator, put this on us. Let us continue to go out there, push these guys around. We can put this game on our back and end this thing by running the ball.
And this is a manhood question for this defense. Like, as a defensive lineman, and you're pounding the rock, like, I got to physically rise to this challenge. This defense has to play more inspired and more physical in the second half.
Trying the left side. Still running at the 40. Ripping off a pretty good chunk of yardage. They've got it out to the 41 with a first down.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the third quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are
turning it on. Smashes through the tackle. They finally wrestle down the senior, but not before he picks up some valuable ground.
This is going to be a big key for him, David, with the lead here in the second half, running the football, right? Staying on the field and bleeding the clock.
And run the football, you're ahead, you can be a little bit more conservative. But again, this opens up the pass. This keeps everything in balance for this offense.
It's an offense that takes pride in being physical. They try to get it going on the ground, but no gain on that one.
Just nowhere to run, not a lot of wiggle room for the ball carrier.
This defense came in knowing that they had to match their physicality. Let's see if they can keep it up.
And he finds some solid space, makes a nice game before the defense is able to stop it. How can a stadium this size make so much noise? You can't hear yourself think on third down here in Austin. They've got it just outside the red zone. They'll move the chains. It's at the 21.
Man, that was a good run, but it was almost even better. Great job by the offense. Keep the running game going. You get big chunks like this. Not only was that a big chunk, it also looked like it could have gone for more.
He stopped at the 14-yard line, and they'll stay on the attack from there.
That's a big key for this offense. Now, you've got the lead here in the second half. You want to run the football. You've got to just keep getting positive yards. You've got to keep the third downs manageable so you can stay on the field, bleed the clock. That's going to be the key for this offense and their team winning the game.
Got his man. Defense makes a stop, but the chains move, and it's first and goal from the 8. This crowd knows when to bring it. They'll try to get it in with the run. This time they stop him behind the line of scrimmage, and boy, that has been rare in this one.
That's how you come up and make plays as a defense, man. Playing physical, playing downhill. They've given up some plays today, man. He's got over 100 yards on the day. He's really had some success on that play.
And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Oregon State.
This defense is going to have to do a better job being physical. That's 2 rushing touchdowns they've now allowed. They have got to be better close to the line of scrimmage.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And he made that extra point. The wet turf, no problem.
Bullet on that completion.
From the gun, the running back tries to hit the hole. Still on his feet at the 40. They finally get him stopped, and this veteran junior running back comes up with a nice play. The Ducks are in the hurry-up.
The defense has got to be more physical up front. Don't let them have those running lanes, those holes to break off a nice run, get a first down. And here's the thing, you better reload quick because they're right back on the line to call another play.
And now on second down for this offense.
This guy's gotten off to a good statistical start, guys. With that last completion, he's already now over 1,000 passing yards on the season, and man, you know he's looking for more.
They'll run it from the gun. Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a first down. And the Ducks have this offense rolling. He'll pull it on the read. And the big defensive front wins the battle. No gain on that play. This drive facing a little adversity on 2nd and 11. Moore to the air. Pulls it in. It's Stewart. He's close to the first down, but they're going to mark him just a little short. And this offense can ill afford to come up empty on this drive already. By multiple possessions. He's not even going to make it back to the line of scrimmage as the defense gets big-time penetration. With a double-digit deficit here in the second half, they're going to go for it on 4th down. Oh, he dropped it. He just lost out. Offense in a bunch formation. Power football with the run. Brings into the open. He stopped just a chain link or 2 away from the first down and sets them up beautifully here.
And that would be the definition of first down success. Putting yourself in a good position. It's 2nd and inches. I can do whatever I want next. I can take a shot down the field. I can run the football and get a new set of downs. Like, nice first down execution.
Yeah, you just feel like the running back's asking for redemption on that one. You know, 2nd and short, and you're giving him the football. He can't get the first himself. Now it's 3rd down. He's looking over on the sideline like, call it again, throw me the ball, I can go do this. It's never a good feeling for the running back in that situation.
They'll try to get the first through the air. Grab near the sticks. It's Walker. He'll have enough to move the chains. It's first down at the 38. We asked earlier this week, who's your favorite receiver? And, of course, he said the open one, but we know who he really wants to go to on 3rd down.
The best one. I think the open one, obviously the politically correct answer, but you want to find the guy that you got that great chemistry with. You know exactly where he's going to be. You got that bond and that trust.
Just enough time for one more snap before the end of the quarter. Dropping back, it's Murphy. Here comes the heat. Can't get him to the ground. There to make the tackle, and with that, we'll head to the 4th quarter. What a day it's been on the ground for these 2 guys, and they just seem to get stronger as the game goes along as we take a look at the numbers. Here comes the 4th. Time to see who steps up, who makes the winning plays to take home that W. Final stands of the game, and we'll start with the first give. There he goes. Got the first down. Looking for more. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
Really impressed with the running back. His stats haven't been great, right? Every yard has been hard to come by, but these are some of the best runs we've seen in the game by him, and it's happening at the most important time here in the fourth quarter.
A 7-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 3.
I think you have to like what you see if you're the coaching staff here. Your offense is on the field, and it looks like you got a pretty good drive going, and you're just going to try and keep this thing marching, keep the clock ticking. You've got a really nice lead here late. Just want to find ways to keep the chains moving. They're doing it.
From the gun, leaves it on the inside with the back. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a first down.
Yeah, and if this offense can keep that rolling, if they can keep the physical ground game and continue to add these plays up as they go along, long drives, eat the clock with the lead, this coach will be ecstatic.
Got a man in the middle. Tight windows, no problem to grab the tackle, and it's first down in the red zone at the 10. And the Beavers trying to pay off the threat on 1st and goal. Quarterback on the keeper. He has kept those big, powerful thighs churning, but he'll be knocked down at the 1.
And you're seeing his dynamic ability to run the football that time on the option play. I know he doesn't pick up the first down, but that's still a good chunk of yardage, and the defense...
Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Beavers! They give themselves a little more cushion as they try to reel off their 4th straight win.
And a lot of times late in football games, you'll see offenses get really, really conservative.
Moore will throw. Grabbed in the middle. It's low. They're able to get him stopped just shy of the first down marker. The Ducks come to the line on 3rd and short, hoping to keep the drive alive. They'll try to move the chains on the ground. He'll make a play on 3rd down. He's got enough for the first as they mark it at the 32. The Ducks come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Motion from the back. Wants to throw on 1st down. Snagged in the middle. It's Hughes. They'll get him down, but not before he crosses the 50. He's down to the 49. This is the kind of performance, guys, that sort of etches your name in the roar of a rivalry.
And playing big in this big moment, on this big stage, it is so nice to have a playmaker like that you can highlight, that you can focus on, that you can trust in.
He was so excited coming into this game, too, because he knows that oftentimes your legacy as a player is defined by how you play in rivalry games like this.
2nd down, they'll go to the air. Under fire. And here's a fumble way behind the line. He's loose on the right. And the defense got it. Touchdown, Oregon State. And they turn it into a defensive score. With that, the lead nice and comfortable, and they're cruising toward a 4-0 start.
Man, defenses are always trying to force turnovers, to get the ball back to their offense, make those big plays. You know what the cherry on the sundae is? When you force the turnover, the pill hits the ground, you scoop it up, and you take it all the way back to the house. Huge play for this defense.
On to attempt the try. And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. From this group, you have to hope that they'll grow from this, but this is going to be one that they're going to kick themselves over for a while. Wide open downfield. To the 43-yard line and a first down for this offense. Passing game kept this drive moving. Let's see if they try it again. Moore to the air. Fires to the wideout. Got his man to the left. Taken out of bounds after a good pickup there. They're in striking distance at the 37. Finally, some signs of life from this offense, which has done nothing in the second half. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw on 1st down. Got a man, it's Hughes. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground covered to pick up the first. And the Ducks can really attack on this second and short. Just keeps slinging it. Fires to the big fella. That's a really good tackle there, giving up some size and still making the play. Coming to the line, looking for that first down on third and short from the 29. Referee signals timeout. It's the defense wanting to make sure that they have everything just right with a big play coming. The Ducks come to the line on third and short, trying to convert here. Trying play action. Intercepted. Big play stops the drive. Finally brought down. What a play, not only to get the football, but to flip the field position with the return.
Well, you can't blame this offense for wanting to be aggressive. They're down by a lot on the scoreboard here, and that time going 4 verticals, trying to stretch the defense, see if someone can get open. But, David, the defense was expecting it, and they were able to come away with the INT.
Yeah, the only thought I have right now, Jesse, is I'm playing deep.
Move the wide receiver. Looking to throw, it's Murphy. Got his man quickly. Good, solid pickup there. Now they can start to smell it with a first down at the 31.
The defense needs to have a plan for this guy. They weren't ready for that one. Drag route running all the way across the field, and the DB just can't stay with him because of his speed, and as a result, they give up a big one.
And that's a very productive first down play and bringing up 2nd and 3.
And this is exactly where you want to be as an offensive coordinator. Like when you've got the lead late in the football game, just run the football, eat the clock. Man, they put a good day together. They've had their way with this defense. A lot of positive things to point to. This is one of those weeks when you watch tape, it's going to be really fun to watch it. Not like when you get beat up. A lot of big plays from this offense.
Big reason why his team has the lead right now late is because of his performance running the football. Well over 100 yards in this game. They knew that they were going to have to really put a...
Headed to the end zone. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their total. Right now, the Beavers have the Ducks all dammed up as Oregon State extends its lead.
No, you're right, Reese. Oregon State came into this one juiced up, and they've been clicking on all cylinders, David, offensively and on the defensive side.
Well, you could tell they're playing with a ton of emotion, a ton of energy. They're always the underdog. Everybody...
It's pretty much been a bludgeoning, but they'll try to finish with something positive late.
Well, they ran into a buzzsaw today, and I don't think it would matter what type of X's and O's they're out there executing, David. Jimmy's and the Joes, they're just not as good as the opponent today.
And as an athlete, it sometimes hits you in the face and it stinks, but you're not good enough. And today they were not good enough. And I'm going to do the best I can to try to flush this down the toilet, not remember it, forget it, move on for the next game. Maybe something right here I can create positive that carries over to practice and maybe next week.
One more play to pad the stats. Moore will throw. He's taking a deep shot. And the pass is dropped and incomplete, and that's going to do it. Clock has struck 0, and the ball game is over. So the Beavers able to dam up those trenches and gave the Ducks nowhere to move as Oregon State takes home this rivalry game. That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.
This podcast is presented by Pine Valley Auto Group. From rugged trucks to everyday commuters, find your drive at Pine Valley.
Welcome to The Debate. Today we're digging into the pretty stunning statistical profile of Oregon State's 42-10 win over 6th-ranked Oregon in Week 4. And the question for us is this: do these stats really confirm that head coach Caleb Ward has successfully installed a modern offense, or was this win built on something else entirely, like defensive dominance and just unsustainable efficiency? I'm going to argue that the metrics, especially the control and efficiency we saw, they absolutely validate his mandate to compete immediately.
Yeah, but I think that framing really misses the whole point of what an architect is supposed to be. I'd argue that the incredibly low passing volume and the fact that they relied so heavily on non-offensive scoring, it proves this was a conservative game plan. It doesn't prove the arrival of some promised modern system. Not yet, anyway.
See, the Week 4 numbers, to me, show a surgical approach. And that is the definition of modern offensive intelligence. You leverage what your roster can do, and you eliminate risk. I mean, look at the operational control. Oregon State had an 88% completion percentage on only 9 attempts, mind you, and they converted 80% of their third downs. All of that with perfect discipline. 0 turnovers, 0 penalties. This isn't just about the run game, it's about making a defense pay for overcommitting. We saw 265 rushing yards, and 8.5 yards per carry average, led by Anthony Hankerson. Ward designed an offense that just maximized every single snap and controlled the clock for almost 20 minutes.
All right, I just don't buy that. A modern architect, that term implies dynamic schemes, RPOs, vertical passing, complex motion. What we saw was 74 passing yards. If the whole statistical success of this modern approach hinges on hitting 8 out of 9 throws, well, that tells me there's a fundamental lack of faith in the passing game, not innovation. And besides, the 42 points, that number is structurally misleading.
How so?
Well, 2 of the touchdowns came directly from the defense. You have the Noble Thomas Jr. and the Thomas Collins fumble returns. So the offense was only responsible for 4 touchdowns. That high rushing average you mentioned, I think that's more about Hankerson's individual talent in a low-volume game than it is about some sustainable, recalibrated system.
You see it as a lack of faith, but I see it as strategic leverage. The high yards per play, 8.5 for the total offense, that confirms that efficiency was the volume. Ward played to his quarterback's strengths, Malik Murphy's strengths, by limiting his exposure to complex reads. The goal was clearly control and discipline. And that efficiency in the run game, paired with that high completion rate, it maximized the few possessions they had. The metric that really matters for stabilizing a program isn't volume, it's control.
But that completely misses the strategic balance of the game. If your whole victory plan relies on your defense forcing turnovers deep in the other team's territory, then your offense didn't achieve control. It benefited from massive strategic gifts. The defense, which ran this super risk-averse all-zone scheme, gave up 257 passing yards to Oregon. That approach, combined with the limited playbook on offense, tells me that risk aversion was the philosophy here, which is, the exact opposite of a progressive architect pushing the envelope.
Okay, but that so-called conservatism is what proved he could deliver on his mandate of closing games. Just look at that decisive 21-point scoring burst in the fourth quarter. The offense delivered when it absolutely had to, ending with Murphy's 14-yard QB run for a touchdown. That execution in crunch time, all done with relentless discipline. Again, 0 penalties all game. That validates Ward's entire approach to stabilizing this program to win big games right now.
I agree he closed the game, sure, but he closed it with a power run game and a QB keeper. He was leveraging the fatigue that his defense created, not debuting some modern spread system. The fact that the offense never shifted gears to put the game away through the air, even late, I think that's a huge sign that the true modern offensive mind we were promised just hasn't materialized yet.
I think what this Week 4 data shows is just undeniable. Ward delivered immediate stability and discipline, and that validates the efficiency argument entirely. The ability to put up a dominant score with 0 errors, that sort of redefines what a program needs from modern coaching.
The outcome was definitely dominant, I won't argue that. But the statistical reliance on the defense and the suppression of the passing game means the promise of that innovative architect is still very much a question mark for future games, especially high-pressure ones.
I think we can both agree that the material here presents a really fascinating tension, It's between theoretical innovation and what is just practical strategic efficiency.
And that's going to do it for this episode of State of the Beavers. Your home for everything Oregon State football. If you liked what you heard, make sure to subscribe, rate, and leave a review wherever you get your podcasts. We'll be back breaking down the next matchup, the biggest storylines, and what it all means for Beaver Nation. Until next time, for everyone here at State of the Beavers, go Beavs.
Fan talk. Logo on the screen. Yeah, we back in the bar. Yeah. Kick off on a Thursday. Headphones hallway. Walking to class. Talking about rankings and run game. Who hitting harder? Who missing gaps? Yeah. State of the Beavers. We break it down from the first down snap to the final crowd sound. From the dorm room couch to the nosebleed seats. We speaking on the trenches and the DB speed. State of the Beavers.